Rhys, tell me about your journey in the Pats Academy from when you joined at 13s to now, please.
Yeah, well, so started off at 13s and progressed through the ages really. Went from 13s, ended up winning a double in the first season. We had a great little side, and then progressed straight into 15s. During the COVID year, that was kind of disrupted by COVID, obviously, and then jumped straight into 17s, and then from there I've really kicked on. I think I've kind of worked on myself physically and technically, and I've gotten better. And then last year at 19s, where Niall as the manager really helped me progress as a player and as a number 6, and he really helped me game evolve. And yeah, now I'm full time with the senior team and enjoying it.
Tell me a little bit about the last few weeks and months since you've been with the first team on a full-time basis, kind of training, being in squads, the Leinster Senior Cup semi-final, of course, which you started, and just how you've found it being a full-time player and still being able to play for the 20s as well.
Really good, yeah. It's really helped me looking at and training with top midfielders in the league, like the likes of 𝗕𝗃𝗲𝗬𝗕, and you see the way they train, and like you just pick up little things off them that you might not pick up in a 20 session maybe. And I think the standard of the first team training sessions is like it's a lot sharper, and the tempo's really high, so it helps you as a footballer, and it makes you think quicker in situations where you might not think in, for example, an underage game. So training with men as such is like it's beneficial to any young player, so yeah.
And being in the full-time environment here at our base in Sport Ireland in Abbottstown, from like the video analysis to the gym to lunch every day to the excellent training pitch, access to the dome, the changing rooms, the whole kind of high performance environment around here, how have you enjoyed that, and I suppose everything that's helping you do now, getting up in the morning and coming in here to train and practice?
Yeah, really good, yeah. I think it's helpful that everything's are kind of in close proximity, like the gym is 2 minutes away from the dressing room, like, so we'd be training in the morning, and then we'd come in, get changed, whatever, then go straight over to the gym, and then the gym session would be about 45 minutes to an hour, and then you're showering, getting changed, and then coming straight over to here in the conference centre for field. So it's good, everything's close within each other, so that definitely helps.
And what also helps is getting experience on the pitch as well, and you've had that in this competition, the Leinster Senior Cup. You started the semi-final win against Maynooth Town, good little crowd at Richmond as well, and a great win. A couple of your teammates would have played in that game as well. How was that, and the experience of playing in a competitive senior game in a semi-final in front of a crowd at our stadium as well?
Really good. It was my first senior start at Richmond. I obviously started the quarter-final against Bray in the Carlow ground, so that was a good experience as well. But I think it's a bit different when you're starting in your home stadium, like with a couple of hundred people there in the crowd, so especially with my family in the crowd as well, so that always drives me more to play better and to give it me all. Yeah,
this competition is great for that, to give, you know, the top performing younger players a chance, if the manager and the staff feel that you're ready and performing well, to play. And obviously a lot of the senior boys have been involved in this competition. It was used as a pre-season competition earlier on, and now it does being, as you mentioned, the quarter-final in Bray, the semi-final, and now the final. And I'm sure you've enjoyed that experience of playing in competitive games at senior level for the club. How's it been?
It's been really good, yeah. I think it's beneficial for us young players, the likes of myself, Michael, Jason, especially starting in that last game. It's a different challenge altogether when you're playing against men, like, so even if they aren't like Premier Division, like it's a really good challenge. It challenges you physically, and then it challenges you mentally as well throughout the game, to constantly keep your concentration during the game, like, so it's beneficial to any young player playing men's football, like.
And you're 18 as well now, so like you're still a very young player, but to have had all these experiences kind of still as a teenager, and even making your first team debut last season against UCD at Richmond and stuff, that's a memory I'm sure you look back on fondly, and your friends and family as well. What do you remember about that and coming on and making your debut when you were still only a kid, really?
Well, yeah, I remember that day that John Daly texted me and told me I was in the squad, so I was obviously just buzzing with that in general, like, but I had no idea that I would come on. Like, I remember the lads were doing quite well in the game, and we were really dominant during the whole game. And I remember sitting on the bench and John Daly turning around and telling me to warm up. So even warming up in front of the fans, it was an unreal experience. Like, but then even coming on, like, that was a different experience altogether. Like, especially with me dad and my brother in the crowd, like, it was, and them going to every home and away game, like, so that was a different experience altogether, and one that I'll never forget.
Yeah, what people might not know is that your dad and your little brother are Pat's season ticket holders. They're in the singing section at Richmond, as you mentioned. They're at the away games. They're Pat's people. So in your dad's case, his son, and in your little brother's case, his big brother, wearing that Pat's jersey and playing and being in the club, I'm sure is a nice, unique moment, and for your mum and all your family as well.
Of course, yeah. I think it gives them an extra boost, if you want to say that they want to go to all the Pats games because they know that I'm involved in some of the games, like, so I think it's, especially from my little brother, like, if he's looking up to me, like, he can maybe think like that he's able to one day be in my position, like, because I definitely didn't think that I'd be in this position at this age, so yeah.
And that's a really good point, Rhys, that, like, when you came into the club at 13s, and you're actually the first player to go from 13s all the way to making their senior debut, which is another brilliant achievement, but that our own under 13s, under 14s now are coming in, and we see them when we're training in 𝗕𝗓𝗄𝗏, and, like, they look like they're only coming into the club, and they are, and then in 3-4 years time they could be like you or like any of the other boys around that and making debuts and training full time and stuff. So even with the academy all based in 𝗕𝗓𝗄𝗏, for the younger ones to be around you guys, and when you're training playing for the 20s and they can see, well, oh, Rhys played for the first team or whatever, like, that's a nice thing. But when you're looking at the kids and they're so tiny and thinking that's you only a few years ago.
Yeah, I think that especially the kids that age, especially the 13s and 15s, like, they need to believe in themselves. They need to know that it is possible, as they've seen from the likes of Sam Curtis now, who's gone to England, Josh Keeley, all these boys who've came through the academy, like, so it is possible for any young player to come through the academy. You just need to be willing to work hard, and then the opportunities will come, and then when you get them, you be willing to take them.
And the opportunity as well, if you know, lads haven't gone to England, and of course with the Brexit rules now, there's players staying longer as well, and to have the opportunity to be in full time and to be around it and stuff, like a lot of you do, and also being able to still play 20s if you're not involved in league games just yet with the first team and stuff, is still a kind of a really good thing for you guys to be able to do, and being a really competitive under 20s league.
I think it's more beneficial, to be honest with you, that rule has came in, like, because as you've seen from the likes of myself and Michael, like, we're in full time, so we're training with men, like, so, and that brings the levels up altogether. Like, it brings your own levels up, and it makes you think quicker, it makes you all this type of stuff, and then if you don't get the game time, you can then drop down to 20s, which is really beneficial. Like, you need to have your match sharpness, because it's first day football, it's a different animal altogether. Like, you need to be, it's so much quicker, the tempo's really high, and the crowds of the game as well, like, so, like, it's a different atmosphere altogether. Like, you're going from playing in Blanche on a Saturday morning in front of maybe 40-50 people to on a Friday night playing against 4,000 people, or even like 5,000 packed out 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗏 Park like it was on Monday. So you need to be ready for that challenge.
And just lastly on the crowds, you finished there. Tickets are flying and selling well for Tuesday. It's obviously not a league game, but it's our third last home game of the season. It's a cup final as well, and I'm sure you'd be delighted if you're picked to play in the game, that there's a big crowd there to create an atmosphere and cheer you guys on, hopefully to a senior trophy.
I'll be buzzing to start the game on Tuesday. I think would mean everything to me, to be honest with you. Like, just to play in front of a packed crowd in Richmond, like, obviously haven't got that opportunity in the league, but I think especially for the young players, myself, Michael, Jason, who started the semi-final game against Maynooth, I think that would be really, it's a different kind of experience for us, like maybe one that we haven't experienced before. So I think if that opportunity does come about, that we just need to grasp it with both hands.
Great stuff, Rhys. Thanks for chatting. Good luck.
Thanks very much.